you. First of all, I would like to apologize to the translator because I speak fast. So if I'm speaking too fast, just raise your hand and I will try to slow down. So a pleasant, wonderful good morning to our neighbors and friends, hopefully both. We hope that we can use this event to start a process in our own institutions and see if we can bear fruits for our constituents. Just to put it on a note, OGP does not prescribe something, neither does it impose something. OGP as a practice merely share. And it is the country and the CSO's job to separate the chaff, you know, in rice. You have the brown one and the rice inside. It is up to you to separate the chaff from the grain and then see which ones you feel you want to take in. So this is my first time here in Phnom Penh, and I am very honored to be here in Cambodia to talk to you about the Open Government Partnership. There are, as Alexander told you, there are only 4 countries in Asia who are members of OGP. Indonesia, South Korea, Mongolia, and the Philippines. And in fact, I am proud to announce that Indonesia chaired the whole OGP last year and did a wonderful job. Among all the 60-plus countries, they chose Indonesia to chair it, and it was highlighted a few months ago in the United Nations when we were able to get so many heads of states of all the member countries to come and recognize and affirm OGP. It is our desire and aspiration that hopefully Cambodia will soon join the ranks of the OGP country members. The OGP is a global movement that seeks to advance the practice of open government among countries through a process where countries make and implement their own specific commitments that expand transparency, citizen engagement, and accountability within government. Now, what makes the OGP unique is that it is a movement that is founded in a partnership between the government and the civil society organizations. And such partnership and engagement is core in every process in OGP. Now, people may get the impression that in OGP, we are supposed to teach government how to open up and interact with civil society. That's actually not complete. It is also the goal of OGP to teach CSOs how to constructively engage government. The point is not to put 2 opposing groups into one room, but actually create space where those who are willing to come and work together can come in and hopefully work together. For example, OGP commitments cannot be unilaterally crafted by governments. The process must involve civil society organizations. Furthermore, the role of civil society is not limited to being consulted in crafting OGP commitments. Government should also engage them in the implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of these commitments. In Mexico, for example, they co-created the OGP commitments. And in fact, the first commitment was crafted by the CSOs, not by the government. I understand that the process of opening up government process to civil society can be daunting for many of us in government, me in particular. And for some of us, it's even undesirable. Yet we have been able to accomplish this in our country. People think that the outcome of joining the process of OGP is better public service, less corruption, perhaps improve mortality rates and improve the hospital to citizen ratio. Those can be achieved, but the true outcome of OGP is really, as Mr. Suren said, trust. When we create an environment of trust, all our energies are spent to create rather than to oppose or to destroy. When we launched OGP many years back, the president of Google, we had a talk there, said, the most important commodity of the next century is trust. It was initially difficult to get bureaucrats and civil society advocates to work with each other because of mutual distrust. In one end, civil society organizations usually assume an adversarial position against government, bolstered by the belief that the bureaucracy is a hive of hopeless corruption and ineptitude. Meanwhile, public officials often viewed civil society organizations as nitpickers and rabble-rousers, forever complaining about some imagined slight or another. Cabinet secretaries who previously came from civil society therefore played key roles in initiating genuine dialogue between government and civil society organizations. Eventually, working relations were built and mutual trust was gradually established. Once working relations have been established with civil society, we have to come to rely on them for support and assistance in many of our programs. While we do not often agree with them on everything, we are able to work together in many programs where we do have agreements. So a tip for the Cambodian government: when you join OGP, recruit from civil society to help you implement OGP. This will help smoothen your interaction with civil society, and we strongly encourage Cambodia to join the Open Government Partnership. Our membership in OGP has been very beneficial to the Philippine government and to our people. First, OGP has provided us a real opportunity to learn from the experiences of other countries and civil society. Annual events and summits have provided us many opportunities for learning, and OGP conferences are not mere talk shops. What we learn actually gets incorporated into the crafting and implementation of our action plan. OGP has also provided us the opportunity to engage in bilateral exchange with other OGP countries. In particular, we have been assisted by Brazil in sharing their experience on participatory budgeting. And we've also had some exchanges with Moldova on their open data initiative. In return, our friends from Sierra Leone in Africa have visited us to learn from our implementation of OGP. Another benefit for us is that the process of crafting and assessing our OGP commitments has generated greater momentum in the implementation of various other reforms that we have started. This is accomplished because OGP generates high-level political commitment due to its nature as both domestic and international commitments. More importantly, OGP has helped us create a platform through which champions of openness can solicit the cooperation and support from other parts of government. This is in recognition of the reality that government is not monolithic. There will be those inside government who champion the practice of openness, while there will be those who are cold to it, and even those who will oppose it. The crafting of an OGP action plan that is supported by top officials in government helps nudge officials to support such initiatives. In addition, the process required by OGP, specifically the crafting of the action plans, the self-assessment report, and the IRM report, has greatly helped us make our OGP commitment sharper. In the sense, the targets are more specific, measurable, and have concrete time periods. The fact that this process gets repeated one cycle after another also enables us to improve. Your commitments is your own personal commitment. It can be 100, it can be 30, it can just be 1. The important part is that it is your commitment. And you are accountable to your own commitment. And the key is not to compete with other countries, but rather to start a learning process where you iterate on your commitments, check if you have done it, and then try to either improve it, refine it, and do another round of commitment. It's called iterative opening. Finally, OGP provides us an international platform to showcase reforms that we are implementing. I will talk about that later this afternoon. The Philippines was even recently awarded the Open Government Award during an OGP event at the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. International recognition of our efforts has in fact translated into specific gains for our people, as we have attained an investment grade ratings from Moody's, Fitch, and S&P for the first time in our history. The investment rating upgrade translates into millions of dollars which we save on interest payments for our loans, allowing government to spend more for social and economic services for the people. To end, I would like to share the OGP formula. Transparency plus citizens' engagement results in greater accountability in government. This means more efficient and more effective services for the people we serve. Thank you, and we look forward for an engaging activity for the rest of the 2 days.
ចាសសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណឯកឧត្តមមេឆាហ៊ុន Moya ចាសសម្រាប់ការចែករំលែកនៅបទពិសោធន៍ចាសក៏ដូចជាបង្ហាញអំពីអត្ថប្រយោជន៍មួយចំនួនពាក់ព័ន្ធអំពីការអនុវត្តកម្មវិធី OGP ដែលមាននៅក្នុងប្រទេសហ្វីលីពីនរបស់លោកផងដែរចាស